Hi, Serena.
Hey, how are you guys?
Great.
Good.
How are you?
I'm good. Felicity, you were saying about your character, oh, I am so desperate to play Ellie. What was it about her? Why did you have to be her?
I just was really keen to do something that was humorous. Having done a few films that were a little heavier, I kind of wanted to have a bit of a more relaxed time, and just to test something different in myself. I'd done a film years ago called Chalet Girl, and I'd always wanted to do something not too dissimilar to that. And Ellie just had she had a modernity about her that really appealed, and I liked her wit, and I there was just a lot that I identified with in her, but also thought, oh, this will be a little bit different.
Shailene, I loved what you put up on your Instagram, your last day in London. You put up a gorgeous still from the film, and it said, leaving London with a full heart. Filming this movie has been one for the books. What made this such a special experience?
I'm trying to think of what photo that was. um, I mean, it was. I'm from the United States, and Augustine's from the United States, and apart from the two of us, almost everyone on this film is English of some form, and I think being in a different country, surrounded by so many people who are from that country, made the entire thing feel more special um, than your average film, because not only did I feel transformed by Jennifer's experience, I was transformed by my experience being a transplant there and really kind of immersing myself in local culture and getting to know a city I had visited many times, but never had the opportunity to really live in and kind of breathe in and day out.
Talking about special, there's just something special about a letter. I know my parents are in Australia, I'm here in Ireland, talk to them all the time, send voice notes, all of that stuff. But I get a birthday card in the post and I see their handwriting and it just sends me to mush. Felicity, how do you feel about letters?
Yeah, I mean, increasingly through everything that we've been through, when you receive a card or a letter, it is just makes such a difference, doesn't it? That it's the fact that it takes the effort to do it. It's you're going that little bit extra. You have to go out, you have to go to the post office, you have to get your stamps and all that stuff, and but it's so meaningful when you do it, and it's such a perfect moment to be celebrating that kind of connection through this film, because I think it's what everyone is craving.
Shailene, what about you? Because I know yesterday my daughter was just given a book by her grandmother. And in that book, her grandmother had, I can't think of the word, but she'd written in it. And as well as her writing in it, it had been written in by my daughter's great grandmother. And she was just like, oh my God, her writing. How do you feel about letters and handwriting?
That is very special. Handwriting is such a generational thing. If you do look at my mother's generation has this particular style, and her mother's generation has a particular style. And if you go to a flea market and pick up a postcard from the 20s, it's that is very different script than the 50s or the 60s. And I think that letters are such a beautiful way to kind of timestamp the truth of an experience throughout time. Whereas when you're texting, you don't really expose yourself as vulnerably as you would when you're sitting there and really putting your thoughts to paper.
Yeah.
I find them to be beautiful.
Felicity, I love that in this film, it's about two women who, their lives both take unexpected turns. There's surprises along the way. Jennifer's life maybe doesn't end up the way she always planned it would end up. When you look at your life now, what do you think your younger self would think about where you are right now?
I mean, I think that's what's so weird about life. And your parents sort of say that they say, it's not going to go in a place that you expect. And there are so many twists and turns. And I often do think that you end up in cities or places and with people that you would never have expected. And that sort of is what is the fun of it, isn't it? That you don't know quite where it's going to go. So I think, God, if my younger self was looking ahead, I think she'd be happy that I was in London, because I always wanted to move to London. So she'd be like, "Chick, you did it."
What about yourself, Shailene?
I mean, that's such a good response. It is true. I think that there's an element of, having dreams and desires, and then also, really surrendering to the universe and to the whims of, you know, where you're supposed to be and how that's supposed to look. And when things turn out differently than what you expected, instead of resisting that, just kind of finding the acceptance of that. That's been a great lesson.
Well, here's to more surprises along the way. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Serena. Have a
Thank
good day.
you.
Thanks, you too. Bye.